Welcome to the Write.Publish.Market podcast. If you're a business owner thinking a book would be a great marketing asset for your business, you're in the right place. Maybe you've already committed, even better. I'm your host, Jodi Brandon, book publishing strategist and partner for business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs, and 20-plus year veteran of the book publishing industry. On the Write.Publish.Market podcast, in addition to learning from me and other industry experts, you'll hear from other business owners about their experiences as we explore all facets of writing, publishing, and marketing a book that will help your business grow in ways you might not even be dreaming of yet. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Hey, listeners, welcome into today's episode, which is part of our series on the Write.Publish.Market book revision, third edition coming, I can tell you now, October 2025. Ready to go ahead and announce that launch date. I am coming at you from a self-imposed writing retreat. I was having trouble finishing this draft in my regular day-to-day life, as is often the case for my clients. And the last time I gave you an update, I think I mentioned that I had to revise the schedule a little bit. But now that I have a launch date and I've hired a couple of people on my book team, which I'll tell you about in a minute, I was able to sort of reverse engineer that production schedule, writing schedule to get myself to the point where I had a firm deadline in mind. Or not really in mind, a firm deadline that I needed to meet. And in order to do that, in order to get through everything I need to get through before the book is due to a copy editor, self-editing, revision, beta feedback, another round of revision, I needed to bang out this draft. So here I am from the writing retreat. It is raining outside, which makes me honestly just want to sit down in a comfy chair under a blanket and read a book and have a cup of tea. But instead, I'm taking this process very seriously. So book coach and strategist Jodi is proud of author Jodi for getting this done. So what's coming next? Self-editing, revision, and then on to the beta readers for another round of revision and editing, because that all needs to be done before the book goes to the copy editor and really moves into production. So what am I doing with this time? I finished that draft, right? I'm going to give myself a minute because as you know, probably if you've listened to me for a while, you need to take a little bit of time away, come back with some fresh eyes. So what I'm doing with that time, I've created a little pocket of time there for myself. Use those little pockets of time you have to work on another part of the book process. So I'm filling in my master book project planner, which is a Google Doc that has all of the things in it. It's what I use with my one-on-one clients for book coaching and book planning intensives. It sort of, keeps you on track. It's got all the schedule stuff in there, but then it's got budget stuff in there. And there's sections on, team, like who are we hiring? What's it going to cost? All of those sorts of things. So I'm taking myself through, again, the same process that I take all of my clients through, which is fantastic. I have started to build out my book team. I have hired a copy editor. I have hired a typesetter and cover artist. The cover and typesetting, we're looking at probably early August. So that means copy editing in June, which means beta feedback, and all of the revising and everything. So as you're listening to this, I want to say it's May, but as I'm recording this, it's the end of March. So I've got, I've given myself about a 6-week window to get through, my self-editing and revision, send the book out to beta readers, and then do another round of revision. Now, while the book is with beta readers, I've got another pocket of time there. And so what I can do with that pocket of time is start to build out a launch plan, make my pre-order plans, get those situated, make sure my website is ready to go and can handle all that it needs to on the back end. Hire the proofreader, hire an indexer, hire, if I'm going to, I'm thinking about hiring some marketing and publicity help this time around. Not sure yet what that's going to look like. I have some people in mind I want to talk to about that and see what their, packages look like, their services look like, if it makes sense to bring someone in to help with that or not. And then I know in one of the earlier episodes, in book update episodes, I talked about a workbook to go with this book. Hey there, business owner, an aspiring or published author. Sorry to interrupt this episode. Just wanted to check in and see if you're subscribed to Coffee and Commas, my email newsletter, where I share behind the scenes, industry info, and much more about writing, publishing, and marketing a book for your business. Sign up at bit.ly/coffee and commas sign up. That's all lowercase. Now back to the show. I think we're going to do, a resources in a different way with the exercises, resources, et cetera, versus a more traditional workbook. I think it's going to look a little bit different. I have studied what a lot of people have done, books like this, books not like this, just to see, what does a workbook usually entail? What does that bundle look like? And maybe I will offer it as an option as a workbook, but I think more likely it's going to look like, a link dropped into the book in various places, taking you to a website where you can, download that exercise and do it, or print out that worksheet exercise and do it, that sort of thing. I'm still noodling on that, obviously. You can probably hear that in my voice. So I have some work to do there, but that is all good to go in that little pocket of time that I'm creating while the book is out with the beta readers, while they're sort of doing their thing. I can make sure that I've got that good to go, because I want to make sure that whatever that looks like is going to get copy edited. So that needs to be done at the same time the manuscript is finished to go to the copy editor in early June. So, it's like a crunch time, 6-week crunch time, but also with those built-in pockets of time that I have. So, that's the beauty of the book writing and production schedule, is that you can create it in such a way that you have these pockets of time to allow yourself come up for air, take a breath, focus on a different task for a little while so that your brain can, catch up and relax a little bit. So, and like I said at the beginning of the episode, I did decide that we're looking at an October launch. October makes sense. As I mentioned last time, I think in the last book update episode, October makes sense. It's when people are starting to do their planning for the next year. It's when I see a huge uptick in book brainstorm sessions, my version of a discovery call coming onto my calendar, people wanting to plan a January, February book planning intensive, which is my version of, like a VIP day, essentially. Just inquiries tick up, and a lot of people start their planning. A lot of productivity books are released in October, which makes perfect sense because that's when people are thinking about those things, getting their plans in place for next year, making a vision board for the following year, and setting their bigger plans, right? Most people are not going to, on a whim, decide to write a book mid-year. Don't get me wrong, it happens, and people reach out at various times of the year, but more often than not, a book goes on that initial big plan list for the following year, and fall is when people are making those lists. I also don't like to get too close to the new year with, Amazon, Ingram Spark, all of those service providers. Their timelines start dragging out a little bit and extending the closer you get to the holiday season, which obviously makes perfect sense. But you want to allow for that also, because if you don't allow for that, you end up sometimes, whereas instead of it taking, 24 to 48 hours for Amazon to approve or KDP to approve, your file or your manuscript, you're looking at 7-8 days, maybe a couple of weeks, et cetera, et cetera. So you just want to allow for all of that. So earlier in October, I think, is the perfect time. And then the other bonus of that is you've heard me talk about secondary audiences, right? The book then is ready to go for gift giving season. So it's an easy marketing tool for a business owner with a book that comes out at that time of year, because it's an easy way to say, oh, hey, do you know anybody writing a book next year? Do you know any business owner that wants to write a book next year that they've been talking about it? My book would be a great gift for them. And a paperback, $9.99. So it's an easy, low lift holiday idea that you can talk about in your marketing leading up to the end of the year and then at the beginning of the new year as well. So October it is. Date TBD, but definitely early October 2025, edition 3. I'm excited. I'm excited now that I have finished, or I'm finishing, I should say, on this retreat. I'm finishing the manuscript, all the additions, deletions, insertions, all of the things to get this edition, as strong as it can be. There's so much good information in this book. I mean, in my opinion, it was a strong book before, and I've been told that it's such a helpful resource, but there was so much more that I could do and say and include. And so I'm glad that, the time has come to do that and make the book even stronger and even better and help even more people, get a game plan together to write a book to serve their own business. So that is the update for right now. I will be back with another update, and things are, moving and grooving now. So the next update, I can't wait to share, what kind of pockets of time I've created, what I've done with them, and we're on track now. So stay tuned, my friends. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Write.Publish.Market podcast. I know just how busy business owners and CEOs' schedules are, and I'm grateful you've taken some time out of yours to spend with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, take a quick screenshot and share it on social to let others know you're listening. Use the hashtag Write.Publish.Market to spread the love.